Welcome to this week's In the Hot Seat, where every week we put the vendor tech news in the hot seat to tell you whether it's hype or what's not. And today we're going to start with a fun one, and HubSpot, which I think we've covered before, but HubSpot, Agent Hub and Agent Builder go to public beta. So basically, HubSpot opened public beta on its Agent Hub, which is a new unified console for managing every AI agent running inside a HubSpot portal, plus Agent Builder, which is a no-code tool for assembling custom agents from HubSpot data and workflows. And it's live on the professional and enterprise customers as of last week. HubSpot frames this as giving go-to-market teams control over how autonomous agents are deployed and managed inside CRM, moving from scattered point agents to one governed layer. So in other words, Agent Hub replaced a whole bunch of fragmented tools that they had before, individually shipped, like Breeze agents and the management console, that sort of thing. Anyway, Thomas, I can tell you're chomping at the bit. What do you think?
Welcome to 2026. I mean, you said it, it's kind of a rebranding. It's what everybody else already has. And welcome to the show.
I mean, but to be fair, there is one thing in here that I think is important. The governance and monitoring layer and the no-code builder, those are new. That's actually something they didn't. Yeah, new to them, right? Not new to the not new to the world. Correct. So, Jody, what do you think?
So I think the new side, right, new to them, this was a boost, I think, because in the MarTech world, obviously they had a little bit of a hit a couple weeks ago in terms of, some of the changes that they were making to the system. So I think that this is a good positive view of something that's rolling out that people can embrace and use, and it's a positive new spin on something, to your point, is new to them, but it's not new per se. It's nothing earth-shattering.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of announcements about orchestration this year for sure. So.
And there are marketing companies, so if they are not able to spin something positively, then who the heck should be besides Salesforce? Do that by default.
Yeah, I mean, fair point. And to be fair, this week we don't have any Salesforce stories to talk about. So
hey, don't spill the beans.
You're right. We'll lose some audience that way. Don't want to do that.
I'm banning the word spin from the vocabulary. Marketers communicate the value and the narrative. Spin, get that out of your vocabulary.
Communicate the perceived value, which isn't spin.
Yeah.
Is that good? Is that a better way to say that? I'm just saying.
Let me ask Perplexity. What a good substitute.
I mean, there's some stuff here that I mean, if you're a HubSpot customer, having a central way to establish agent permissions and governance, audit trails, for RevOps and IT, build custom agents without having to engage developers. I mean, that is, for a HubSpot customer, quite a valuable addition.
Well, and if you think about the segments that HubSpot truly excels at for their system, this is a win-win, right? When you're thinking about yes, they play in enterprise, but also they have a huge SMB offering,
they do,
right? Yeah. And the clientele, and this is a one-stop shop for those organizations. So in that sense, and again, new to them, I mean, that is a win. That's a huge win.
Yeah, all cynicism away. There, you are right. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say, Thomas? Did you say I'm right?
You are right. You are right. And I will use twirl.
I'm gonna write that down. It is at least recorded, so you can cut that out and play it again.
So
mark it on your calendars.
Because it's beneficial for the SMB base as well. Even though they are not alone there, and they are charging their SMB base with enterprise pricing, which is something that they probably should address as well.
Yeah.
No,
so that's actually the main problem. So they are marketing to SMBs, but they are behaving like an enterprise or a vendor to enterprises. So that's the sickness that they have in common with the one that we won't talk about today.
That we aren't talking about today. Okay, yeah, I got it. But I mean, to be fair too, the orchestration management piece, centralizing that makes a lot of sense. But then on the opposite end of that comes down to the no code piece, and that's an interesting one to say. Anybody in your organization should be able to build production grade autonomous agents, no code. But we know that if that's a really simplistic use case, yes. But if it gets to be more complicated than that, you've got guardrails and data quality testing. I mean, those are not going to be handled by a citizen developer.
No, and they frankly don't have the own infrastructure to support all that. In contrast to a Ratio, a Pega, a service node, just to get up the enterprise chain there. So that's something that they still need to prove. Still, it's harmonizing it is, as Jody said. Give you a check again is a good thing for the clients.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think if I return to what Michael said earlier, you've got the tools and you have standardized processes, but they need governance. And that's really what this is offering to a great extent. And you really need the governance if you're going to start letting more people, no code, build agents. That governance becomes even more important.
Yeah. I mean, you hope there's reusable components. And this is, Agentforce has done some of this. And I mean, it definitely competes with Agentforce Admin Console and Microsoft Copilot Studio, right? I mean, those two have been out there for a bit. So it's not, this isn't new as far as the market's concerned. But
it's an important move for them, because especially as the Copilot is already there, that is a threat.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Jody. I can tell you want to say something.
Nope. I'm going to wait till the voting.
I was gonna ask Jody as the marketing field marshal among the group, this idea of a citizen developer making their own marketing stuff independently and throwing it onto into the mix. How does that strike you as the control freak of what it is people are allowed to say and do?
I'm a huge advocate of guardrails, and I do like.
Is that what we're calling it now?
The governance, yes.
Standardization.
Standardization. I mean, look, people are going to be in the systems doing this anyway, right? And this is bringing a level of hopefully guardrails that the teams
certainly shouldn't have chaperoned any high school dances. What the hell kind of logic is that? People are going to be doing this anyway, so just turn the night
doing this anyway. Off. Well, I mean, come on, let's face it. Especially in my world focuses very heavily on watching what's happening in marketing, and everybody is so excited and using all the AI tools that are out there and bringing different agents and workflows into these type of applications. Now having it native, now having it within the application within HubSpot, being able as the orchestrator, if you will, setting up those guardrails and allowing my team or the team to build and execute within the proper guideline. I mean, it's a win, right? It's just going to come down to how you're setting up. The guardrails are so important, and it's so overlooked on a daily basis in terms of these solutions.
You're shifting from a
one
creative
caveat to it, Jody.
What's that?
I'm sorry. You go right ahead, Thomas.
It's beta, right? It's a test version.
Yes.
Well,
It is beta. Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Which
It's not an
is it?
early test version. It's
You
a
say
late
tomato.
test.
I say tomato. So, all right, Jody, fine. My point is like we're shifting the marketing function in the way that we're talking about it from a creative how do I connect with the customer to how do I put guardrails up, which I think is the opposite of what creativity is.
But let me ask
other
you
than
something.
that, it's a great job shift, and I can't wait to get into it.
But hasn't that already shifted? If we think about everything that's out there, everyone now has the ability to become a marketer, a product person, a customer service, right? I mean, AI has enabled people to step outside their comfort zone, if you will, and people are taking on those challenges. So I disagree with the fact that this shifts us to the point that marketing is going to change fundamentally. I don't agree with that. I agree with it is going to help people who are assisting getting the messaging or the branding and the marketing out in the right way. Because let's face it, what do I always say? We are all marketers. We are all salespeople. We are all right. We are all involved in that customer journey and having to say the same message and carry through the same brand. So this to me is I'm going to say a move for the headline that it is, meaning again, new to HubSpot, not new in general.
Not new in general. Yeah.
Looks
No,
like
that's
we
fair.
should all get replaced by HeyGen, according to Jody.
Yeah.
That-
Well, I mean,
Well-
maybe. I don't know. But I mean, you have to admit that from a competitive position, it is a good move, right?
It is,
It
yeah.
gives them capabilities from
Yeah.
against Salesforce, Adobe, Microsoft. I mean, those things. That is a legitimate benefit to the customers by making this platform investment.
Yeah.
So to use Pete's analogy about teenagers and so on, this is going from the chaos that was post-prom in my era to taking the kids to the hotel so they don't kill themselves.
Taking all the fun away.
Taking all the fun away is exactly what I
We're
was
going to
thinking.
go into the second one on that.
Well,
but anyway, my thumbs are up on this one.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to go. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, it is.
It's a thumbs up. Oh, and we get 2 thumbs up from the marketer. Okay. That must be good then. So we're going to call that one. That is not a lot of hype. Well, there's a little hype in there, but not a lot of hype. Right? All right. Well, the second one. So the next one is DemandScience. They announced reimagined. I always hate that in an announcement. Reimagined version of Ionic, intelligent layer for B2B demand gen, combined with its managed execution capabilities, labs and central, aimed at helping marketing and RevOps teams identify winnable accounts and connect intelligence to pipeline outcomes. That was announced last week as well. So they claim that it ends the data mirage, and I love these words, in B2B marketing, positioning Ionic as uniquely equipped to move organizations from insight to action without adding operational complexity. Boy, there's a lot in there. Consolidation of intent and buyer data and behavior center signals and AI-driven orchestration into single branded layer. I mean, it brings all these things into a single integrated offering.
I didn't hear either motherhood or apple pie mentioned in that list. Are there
No, not there.
anybody else see anything that they missed?
Well, I mean, is this just the new marketing narrative, or is there an underlying change?
No, there's a change. I mean, this is another platform change, right? It is from that tighter coupling of intelligence execution together in the way it's packaged. I mean, that's data and lead gen. I mean, that puts those together. So, well, I don't know, Jody, you're the marketer. What do you think? I mean, is that a valuable change?
I think it's a valuable packaging, not change, right? Because this is the positioning of it is new. I mean, if you think about what demand base does, it's the same, right? This is a repackaging versus net new. So yes, valuable, but I had this before as well. It's just a different packaging and ability to leverage all of the different pieces. So,
I mean, the ability to prioritize, right, based on data, that is a message that should resonate.
Yeah, but that was the 2025 message, right?
Well, I didn't say it was this year's message. I just said it was a message that resonated.
Adding on the reimagining word that you did not like, let me give a twirl, not a spin, a twirl on that word. That's reheating. It's reheating the old message. And this is what they are doing. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Is reheating better, Jody? Is that you like that one better?
I kind of like twirl. I'm going to use twirl.
I think leftovers is good too with the whole
twirl.
They put this one in the microwave and now it's just as good as it was last night.
This is a twirling headline. It's a twirling headline.
Twirling
but I mean, in reality,
could have been a chili or a stew, which becomes better with reheating. But I doubt that this is a stew.
I mean, there was nothing in here that made me go, "Wow, that's new." Like that's amazing. Like, it was more like, "Oh, okay, so now this is how we're talking about something that was there."
So
marketing is always rewarded. Marketing has always rewarded new narratives. I mean, you can tell, you can talk about the same stuff in a different way, and it changes the way things happen.
That's our superpower. You could say
I
something.
You see that someone is stepping into my feet now that I gave you a right.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of bringing intent data together with a system of action, that there's some value in there, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's value, but again, it was there, right? I mean, it's kind
reimagined.
It's reimagined. Yes, it's a twirling reimagined headline.
All right. We're gonna go right to the vote then, because I don't think there's anything else we can say about this.
No.
So on the here's what I'm going to say. I think the headline is catchy, right? I think that was like, oh, unveiling something new is what my thought was. But then when I got into it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is a new narrative that's been twirled. So I'm going to say.
So you're saying it was a waste of time, the headline, yeah? So repeat.
Yeah, well, she said twirl. I had to go with last night's spaghetti just to keep with the reheating and the leftovers.
That's good.
Theme.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this recording is so going into the archives and never being seen again.
AI's gonna have a field day with this. I couldn't pluck out anything of value.
No, nothing but. Well, no, I mean, but there is some value from the company's perspective in positioning themselves again against the competition that the intent data vendors have been creating in their marketplace. So from that perspective, I can see how there's value to the company, to the vendor. I'm less sure about how this creates value for the customer.
Yeah,
correct. And I always have to keep in mind when we have these discussions that we're trying to come at it from the lens of the customer or the buyer versus the vendor. Right. So I'm still sticking with thumbs down from the buyer user.
All right, so let's vote. What are we saying? Hype. I even get an extra thumbs down.
We need far better innovation in being inundated with messages we don't want. And this just doesn't do it. This is the same old way they've been inundating us with messages we don't want from last year. And darn it, we've got a higher bar that they've got to clear if they want to impress us this year.
Give them some credit.
Even more garbage in my inbox. That's what
give them some credit.
This isn't going to do it.
The buzzword ladenness of this announcement was hard
reimagined.
It was hard
reimagined. All right. So we're being told to move on. I see. All right. So what's the last? This is the third story. Pilot protocol. San Francisco startup emerged from stealth this week with a 4.5 million seed round. Not very much in the land of AI, but anyway, they built, and this one I have to read this more than once, and I still don't know that I understand it. Builds a network layer that lets AI agents discover, authenticate, communicate, and transact with each other without a human setting up the connection. They build themselves as an internet for agents, giving every agent its own address and trust layer so it can find and work with other agents on its own, plus an agent-facing app store where agents discover and install tools autonomously, much like the OpenAI story from last week. Sorry, couldn't help but slip that in there. About 250,000 agents are already running on the network before public launch, generally generating 2 billion requests a day. I mean, in other words, it's being used. It's agent-to-agent identity, trust, discovery, infrastructure. And it is, I mean, there's been a lot of discussion about A2A, although that's a standard now that's being used, and that doesn't set up a separate network. But it's an interesting one. I'm not sure.
So is this like a TCP for third-party agents?
It is. It's basically a separate network for agent-to-agent communication that they establish autonomously. They establish themselves.
I bet you wish you had thought of that one, Thomas, huh?
No. No. So the first thought that I had when I read this was "Welcome to Skynet."
I mean,
which runs on TCP.
So I mean,
this has a funny feel to it in the sense that it reminds me a little bit of early internet. And it wasn't the first people in the field that were the really successful ones. The ones that were successful were the ones that created protocols that everyone agreed with. And what are these agents, these guys, going to do in that? If they're going to communicate with each other, what's the outcome?
Well, I mean, the point is, and this does resonate in one direction, and that is that there is a serious problem when you cross system boundaries or organizational boundaries between agent-to-agent communication. Today, even using A2A protocol, that's a custom workflow. And so if it actually was able to establish and manage and offer a communication path that didn't require that work, that has value in a multi-agent workflow.
And as they are solving a serious problem. The problem with that, and the problem with that solution is that they are touting IEEE, Internet Engineering Task Force, and so on, as to gain credibility. They are talking about being open and distributed, but what they actually are is centralized. So there are some incredible lack of credibility in some of their messages that they desperately need to get straight. So are they playing for themselves? Oh, yeah, well, okay, it's capitalism, so it's fine, it's fair, but please don't say we are doing it for the better of all.
No, I mean, Thomas, that's fair because it does create a scenario in my head anyway that says, okay, I commit to this. I'm not using open standards. I have locked myself into a protocol. So I mean, from that perspective, it does jump out to me that there's risk. I mean, it is a significant problem that they're trying to solve.
And I doubt that they want to do an accepted protocol because it's an individual contribution. There's nothing backing it. Just be honest about it and don't say, hey, we are IETF. No, we are not. And the other thing, which is a significant risk in there, is shadow IT has always been a problem. Shadow AI too. And now it's automating shadow AI. That should be probably clarified as well.
Maybe. I mean, I do think if you think about this from an other vendor perspective, this could actually be infrastructure you'd want to incorporate in your platform to create that communication layer for agents. So I can see some value there, but it is an interesting one when we are
It's-
moving towards this open standard A to A MCP world, right?
It's interesting, but the governance lacks.
What happens if the AIs shake? They've crossed organizational boundaries and they shake hands on a deal. I mean,
Well, that's the point. They need to be
Yeah.
able to do that. This doesn't talk at all about the governance, because I mean that
Yeah.
is an issue.
Yeah.
And that's, when I read this headline, I was the one who was like, oh my gosh, we have got to talk about this, because first I scratched my head like, wait a minute, I gotta really like read this press release and understand what it's saying, because I was confused. Like, why like agents to agents, you can set that up. So I got a little confused, then I read more about it, and then I went to the site. I'm going to put the user hat on, right? Not talking about the vendor headline, but the user hat. The things that really jumped out to me was when you're talking the governance and the safety. And when I read, because this is in beta, in the way in which the apps or the information can be put out there. I mean, it was just, as a user, I was like, no way. This is not something that I'm going to bring into the system until it's locked down, secure. I mean, I think that this is an interesting, to your point, filling a gap,
It's an interesting approach to fill a need.
Yep. There's still a lot more that needs to happen. And more funding that needs to happen.
Yeah, well, 4.5 million, that doesn't cover your token
but hey,
cost for very
the fact
long.
that they got 4.5 million for,
I mean, that's something.
That's something, right?
It's not the funding.
Who knows?
It's the message. So if I were a CISO right now, I would change the Wi-Fi password if I learned of.
Well, from a perspective of my area of supply chain management, I would almost like to see something like this that contained the AIs that belonged in the agents that belonged in the supply chain, and let them do routine orders, for example.
No, I mean that is one of the use cases, right? No, that's fair. That is a use case.
I can see use cases for it. I just don't know if it has the guardrails on there yet.
Well, I'm even beyond that. I mean, the fact that they don't talk about governance and a governance model, that does make me.
That makes me nervous. Yep.
Are these aren't Silicon Valley based founders, are they?
Yeah, they are. San Francisco based.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them more trustworthy than whether they'd been in Beijing.
Yeah, no, they're all just. I went to a coffee shop. Wouldn't this be great? Back of the napkin. Let's get out there. Let's call the three guys we know that are VCs. They throw in some money and we go build this thing that we haven't thought about governance. We haven't thought about this. We haven't thought about that. But
you just described almost every startup piece.
You did, actually. That's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, I've done that how many times?
Right. If you need more than one napkin, it's never going to work. But all right. So, but the thought that I had was, like, it really seems like they belong. Like their opportunity is to own a niche, and supply chain is probably the right one. And just put everything into that, and then they could clarify their messaging so that people like the learned comrades I have on this call could read what they put out and understand what the hell they're trying to communicate. I think that would take them to their next round of funding, which they're going to need in a month or two.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you think about it from a commerce perspective, an e-commerce perspective, and a supply chain perspective, there is use cases there that jump out to me. It's just there's a lot of detail that I didn't see here that makes me worry from a trust layer perspective, which is key if you're going to build autonomous agents and turn them on.
100%. And I would say if done correctly and done with a very strong security and governance layer, this could be a headline that's back in the hot seat in the future, where we're really talking about, the thumbs up, right? The thumbs up approach. But right now, I mean, from what it is from a user perspective, I
Yeah.
gotta say
Mm.
this because the governance and the security side.
I don't
is
even know. I
just-
mean, I would go there because of the governance, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
I'm
it's
all for the
raining now.
Wild
I made
West.
it rain. That's pretty good.
Yes.
huh?
I love just building crap that's never going to work. I think that I'm for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that is Pete's verdict. Build crap that doesn't work. And if you're interested in a subject like this, join us next week for In the Hot Seat when we put more vendor news in the hot seat and tell you whether it's hype or where it's not.
Bye, everyone.